Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Eggs are now a-cracking, and baseball is really cooking. King Kong poaches after Roger Maris and the Babe. The Cardinals scramble up Philadelphia. The Angels heat up the hard-boiled Royals. The Rangers fry up a winning streak. And the Yankees try to turn over the Red Sox while keeping their sunny side up. All this and more served up next on This Week in Baseball. Brought to you by Gillette. When it comes to personal grooming, most people come to Gillette, makers of new improved Gillette Track 2. Micro-smooth edges make it a better shave.
Sold out again.
The new improved Gillette Track 2, please.
Yeah, say, who needs improved when these twin blades will do?
Track 2 has micro-smooth edges. Makes the blade smoother than ever.
Shave better than these?
Better, safer, smoother, and comfortable.
Comfort, schmumfort, you don't have the... But...
Do you have the new improved Gillette Track 2?
Improved Track 2? Improved Track 2?
The new improved Gillette Track 2. Micro-smooth edges make it a better shave.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Where's that husband of yours?
Okay, watch your back. Coming through.
Must say something.
Is that all you carried up?
Is that all? This is Lowenbrow.
So what are we celebrating?
This is the second year we're sharing this house. I didn't think we'd make it through the second week.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Yeah, I shouldn't say this, because you might think I'm serious. But here's to good friends.
Lowenbrow.
Yankee Stadium, the site of 4 straight packed houses, because the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox were reunited. So were Reggie Jackson and Billy Martin. And though neither team was in first place, the stage was set.
I think anytime the Yankees and the Red Sox get together, it's the height of emotional baseball in the American League and maybe in all the major leagues. We play well against them, they play well against us, the fans are excited, and it makes for a good baseball.
Good baseball is right. Great baseball. The two teams played like it was the World Series, and each paid the price. On this dramatic play, Boston lost Jerry Remy with a knee injury. And on this spectacular play, the Yankees lost Mickey Rivers. A painful shoulder separation. But whether a fan of the Red Sox or Yankees, the series was a joy to watch, though none perhaps enjoyed it as much as the first-place Baltimore Orioles, who gained the most ground out of all this sound and fury. The return of Reggie Jackson from the disabled list was a big lift for the Yankees, struggling to get back in the Eastern Division race, as was the return of ace Ron Guidry, who did a fine job holding Boston to 1 run in 8 innings of the first game. But former Yankee Mike Torres was equal to the challenge, holding the Yankees to a 2-2 stalemate in extra innings. In the top of the 13th, Jerry Remy came through with a decisive hit for a Boston win, 3-2. The second game was also 2-2 in the ninth. Carl Yastrzemski batting against his close friend and former teammate, Louis Tiant. And there it is, the 399th home run of Yastrzemski's brilliant career, and another 3-2 Boston victory, putting the Yankees 12 games out. But no one was counting them out.
Last year, we were 14 games, 14 and a half ahead of the Yankees, and they wound up the world champs. So anything can happen in this game.
It can and does. Ace Dennis Eckersley was on the mound the next day, but took a beating. Jim Spencer, Reggie Jackson, and rookie Jerry Narron belting his first Major League home run, the 5th New York homer of the day. The difference in a seesaw Yankee win 6-5. The next night, another jammed house brought the total to over 206,000, the highest attendance for a 4-game series in American League history. The two teams challenged each other with their bats, their legs, and their arms. But the Yankees clearly got the best of it. Reggie Jackson, now loose and ready for action, muscled a high Hardman into the seats for his second homer in 2 days. Altogether, the Yankees scored 7 runs with power, bunts, and daring base running. That was plenty for Tommy John, who recorded victory number 12, tops in the league, a 7-2 Yankee win. Since Baltimore lost, New York trailed by 11, Boston by 5.5. It could be a taste of what's to come in the American League East. And now to the American League West. The Texas Rangers drew the hot hand and stormed everyone, not only the umpires, but also Jim Fragosi's California Angels, who felt the Rangers creeping too close for comfort during a key 3-game series. Bump Wills was one of several quiet Ranger bats that woke up against California as Texas swept all 3 games. Until recently, Oscar Gamble had few chances to hit, but a .422 average with 8 homers and 28 RBIs changed all that. Rookie Bill Sample also perked up against the Angels. 1 game-winning hit, 4 RBIs in another game. A team record 20 hits in the final game was a welcome sight to Ranger pitchers, especially Fergie Jenkins, who followed this up with a 1-hitter against the Baltimore Orioles. Texas extended its winning streak to 8 in a row, picking up 5.5 games in the standings to hold a narrow lead in the American League West. The California Angels, who had lost 6 of 7, quickly reversed their fortunes as soon as they touched down in Kansas City for a series billed as a matchup between top contenders. The Royals, a team often unbeatable at home, looking to move into first. The Angels, a team suffering a bad road trip, having just lost first. But this time, the Royals looked like they were playing on a foreign field. California was out to put the brakes on Kansas City's speed. A significant turnaround for the Angels and Jim Fregosi.
We have a great group of individual players, and they play well as a team. We've had a lot of adversity this year, and this team is stuck together, and they've played hard, and they want to win it very badly.
Veteran Don Baylor was leading the major leagues in RBIs with 70, but was still waiting to be recognized as a complete ball player.
I will not feel like a complete ball player until I play in the All-Star game, and that's one of the things that I like to do, and play in the World Series and start in the World Series. So that's one thing I like to fulfill. Then once I do that, I feel like I'll be a complete ball player.
Talk about a complete ball player. Carney Lansford has developed fast at the age of just 22. A .319 average with 10 homers, 42 RBIs. After a brief batting slump, California was on the move again. Brian Downing, virtually overlooked in all-star balloting, kept stroking, keeping his average at a steady 350. And Nolan Ryan delivered his express in the final game to wrap up a 3-game sweep with his 10th victory. After a tough trip, the Angels were going home, confident they were flying once again in the right direction. Now it's time for this week's Volkswagen quiz. Cincinnati's George Foster is seeking an unprecedented 4th straight RBI crown. Only 2 National Leaguers have ever won 4 titles in their entire careers. And you name them? Stay tuned.
That Volkswagen Rabbit really handles. Is that why you're driving it?
Not really.
Well, is it because it can go from 0 to 50 in 8.3 seconds? But then why are you driving a Rabbit?
Because it has more headroom than my Rolls Royce.
Is that such a big deal?
It is. If you will, Chamberlain.
Volkswagen does it again.
The Houston Astros wear the top hat in the National League West. Recent winners of 12 out of 14 and a 9-game first-place bulge. They don't hit much, but a run or two will often do. Houston hurlers are baseball's best. Joaquin Andujar, a 9-4 record with a 2.63 ERA. Joe Niekro, a league-leading 12-3 record and a 2.89. And James Rodney Richards, 7-7, a 3.27 and 132 strikeouts.
The season's been exceptionally satisfying so far. We've played well. Pitching has been exceptional, a little bit more than we expected, and I think that's really all you can ask of your pitchers. They've kept us in the game, give us a chance to win. Otherwise, I think everybody's contributing. We're getting key hits, and the defense is holding up, and that's why we're in first at this point.
Pitchers like James Rodney can blow it by any hitter, but when they don't, the Astro defense takes over. And when the game is on the line, just call reliever Joe Sambito. How about this? No earned runs in 21 games spanning 9 weeks. No wonder the Astros are zooming out of sight in the National League West. In the National League East, the Chicago Cubs continue to stay within range of the Montreal Expos. Only Herman Franks could have a stomach strong enough to endure the Cubs' queasy moments. For example, the Mets led by 6 in the bottom of the 11th, but Mike Bale let one sail. There goes. Going. It is barely gone. A grand slam. But the Cubs still lost 9-8. But that didn't dampen the spirits of the Wrigley faithful. They packed the park the next day to urge on their heroes. Bill Buckner, a .295 hitter, didn't let them down. Billy Bucks blasted his 9th homer to help win one game of a doubleheader sweep. Dave Kingman also slammed one out, and one-handed no less. Kingman's home runs jumped to 28. His runs batted in 65. Lynn McLaughlin won his 8th game, one more than his last 2 seasons combined. And the Cubs were in 2nd place, 6 games off the pace. Staying right with the Cubs in the East, the St. Louis Cardinals, one of 3 teams trying to turn a 2nd place battle into a 1st place battle. On that list include Mike Schmidt and the Philadelphia Phillies, who took 2 of the first 3 of a 5-game series in St. Louis, as Schmidt blasted homer number 23. The Cards were down but scrapped back, taking Philadelphia in a doubleheader sweep to get back in the running. With star catcher Ted Simmons out of action, Ken Boyer had a right to curse fate. But Simmons' rookie replacement, Terry Kennedy, sweetened everyone's tongue in St. Louis. Bases loaded. And look out! An 8th inning grand slam. How about that? Kennedy also delivered the game-winning hit in the 9th inning of the nightcap. And reliever Mark Littell won both games. A winning battery that gave the Cards just the charge they needed. Now, back to this week's Volkswagen quiz. Brought to you by the 79 Rabbit, Dasher, and Scirocco. Volkswagen does it again. The St. Louis Cardinals' Rogers Hornsby was one of only 2 National Leaguers to win 4 RBI titles. The other was Hammerin' Hank Aaron of the Braves. Next week, Volkswagen will ask you again.
Sold out again.
The new improved Gillette Track 2, please.
Yeah, say, who needs improved when these twin blades will do?
Track 2 has micro-smooth edges. Makes the blade smoother than ever.
Shave better than these?
Better, safer, smoother, and comfortable.
Comfort, schmumfort, you don't have to, but...
Do you have the new improved Gillette Track 2?
Improved Track 2. Improved Track 2.
The new improved Gillette Track 2. Micro-smooth edges make it a better shave.
How do you spell relief?
When I get acid indigestion, I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief. Clinical tests prove with Rolaids you get relief Tums can't beat. That's right, relief Tums can't beat. In fact, relief no other leading antacid can beat. How do you spell relief?
For heartburn, I know. R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Relief no other leading antacid can beat.
What's this? A trip from the bullpen in an armored truck with a police escort? Talk about multi-million-dollar relief pitchers. But it wasn't a relief pitcher who brought 47,000 fans to San Diego Stadium. It was an egg. The cosmic egg? Well, whatever it is, nobody wants to crack it. Easy there. Heavens, man, is it alive? Indeed it is. A star is reborn. After 2 months of legal complications, the San Diego Chicken lives again in a new costume. He's back at roost, ready to show his many feathers. the return of the conquering fowl. He lives, he breathes, he's back at home. Once more, baseball fans feast on San Diego's favorite dish. Chicken a la king. Ah, but for all this pomp and circumstance, let us not forget the play's the thing. And Elliot Maddox of the Mets is ready to prove it. Watch this one. Shades of Willie Mays. Now Atlanta's Jeff Burrows prepares to make his entrance as the ball tries to make an exit. Some performance. Traveling on to St. Louis, it's veteran Cardinal Lou Brock with a real showstopper. Now taking stage center, the Dodgers' Darryl Thomas in center field. In Montreal, a special double billing goes to Andre Dawson and Warren Cromartie. Next, Dwayne Kuiper, Cleveland's second baseman and defensive star for all seasons. And the curtain closes in Philadelphia. From Tug McGraw to Manny Trio to Pete Rose, virtuoso outs. And now a round of applause for some other performers making headlines. Dave King Kong Kingman hit .400 during the week, while belting 3 more homers to give him a Major League leading 28 in 69 games, putting him ahead of both Babe Ruth and Roger Maris in the years they hit 60 and 61. That's quite a mountain to scale, but if ever a man was big enough to do it, it has to be Kong. Over in the American League, Gorman Thomas of the Milwaukee Brewers was also in a power groove. One reason why Milwaukee's been able to hang in the tough Eastern Division race. Thomas hit 3 homers during the week, giving him 20 for the year, battling Fred Lynn for the league lead. Gorman also raised his RBI total to 58, the league's 3rd best. Meanwhile, pitching from the likes of reliever Don Stanhouse kept the Baltimore Orioles winning at a torrid pace. In 1 week, Stanhouse saved 4 games for the Birds, giving them a season's total of 10, along with 6 wins and an ERA around 2.50. Finally, this week's Gillette special goes to Minnesota's Roy Smalley. In 5 games, Smalley hit .522 with 3 homers, 11 RBIs. His lifetime average is .251. So why this season .369?
I've been really fortunate. The ball's been falling in. I have been swinging the bat fairly well, but you have to have an awful lot of luck and an awful lot of seeing eye hits to be hitting for high average, and that's what's been happening so far.
Smalley not only leads the majors in batting average, but also has 14 homers and 60 RBIs. Attaboy, Roy. And that's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.
Here's a reminder, it's English leather or nothing at all.
English leather cologne for men.